Hello everyone. Sorry guys, I'm 2 minutes late. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna wait a couple of more minutes for some of us to join in. Okay. I am so excited. I'm so happy to be here today. This is such a great privilege for me to be here. Please, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up that you can hear me, please. Because the last time I had a few issues with the audio, and I didn't realize that until the video is over. That was when I got some feedback to say that the audio was bad. So if you can hear me, please just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me. Welcome. Thank you very much, Pastor Edwin. Oh, Queen Livy, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited as well. Queen Anastasia, Pastor Lemmy, thank you guys so much for joining me. So today, I've got two parts to this discussion today, and I really want us to contribute. If you've got any question, you can leave your questions on the comment section as well. It's a two-part discussion. If I am unable to, finish the discussion, the second part of the discussion, we can continue it next week. So please share this video and please invite every single lady you know. If you know any woman in this world and she's on your Facebook page, please, I want you to invite her. Today is so important for me. Today's conversation is so huge and is so important for me. So for you guys that were not here last week was the first episode of The Real You, and I shared just one experience from my childhood, growing up as a child, and some of the experience that I had with, my stepmom maltreating me, and how my dad, the focus was the fact that my dad, was just withdrawn, and he didn't defend me, and what he was supposed to do, he wasn't just there for me, and that whole experience just conditioned me, to kind of believe that, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, I am not good enough, so all those experiences that I had from just that one experience between me and my stepmom and my dad just conditioned me that way, and that went a long way to affect me. So today is so important. Please guys, share this video, and and let's go. Thank you, Queen Anastasia. Thank you so much for joining me. So that was what we talked about last week, and we also looked at the fact that growing up as a child, I shared that experience, that whatever are those experiences, like those feelings of unworthiness, the feeling of you're not good enough, all those feelings can actually, limit you. They can put, like, a boundary for you as a woman. You just say, okay, so this is who I am, and all those kind of things. So this is so important. Thank you so much, Rosalind, for joining me. So in discovering yourself as a woman, it is so important for you to go down to your foundation. Your foundation is the first place for you as a woman, for you to go to, and try and identify what are some of the things that you have grown up with. What are the things that you grew up believing as a woman? What are some of those things that you just accepted and you've settled with them? Like me, I settled with the fact that, what, I am not good enough as a woman, so any man that comes, he goes, so long as, he's got trousers on, so it's okay. But that is not okay. But where is that coming from? It came from my foundation. So in discovering yourself, your foundation is a great place to start. And if your foundation is faulty, it is it is very, very possible that your identity as a woman is faulty as well. And I can see billions of women today, and this breaks my heart, but I can see so many women today that as a result of their foundation, till today they are still suffering. They are still suffering as women. We don't see ourselves as anything. We don't value ourselves. We don't put any standards. We don't even have a strong belief, even belief in ourselves. We don't. Why? They are coming from somewhere. Those feelings are not just ordinary. When you're feeling so much, so much fear, you're so afraid, you don't want to be alone, or whatever it is that you have used to just label yourself all over yourself. And the way you see yourself, that is how people see you. The way you see yourself is how people see you. So having all those things on you are coming from somewhere. And where is that place? That place is your foundation. Your foundation. So what exactly is your foundation? That is what I want us to talk about today. What exactly is a foundation? When you talk about a foundation, we all know the foundation of a building. We know that it is impossible for anybody to build a house without a foundation. There is no marriage that exists without foundation. Nothing in this world exists without foundation. Nothing exists without the beginning. Nothing. So your foundation is what I call the grooming stage of your life. The grooming stage of your life, where you are groomed as a woman. You are groomed, you are taught some certain things, which I will share with you all. The two most important things for you as a woman whilst you are growing up, you needed. And if you don't have those things, then if it's just catastrophic. Like it's horrible, because my whole entire life has been from one problem to another problem, from one abuse to another abuse. Why? Because of those two things that I will be sharing with you all. So your foundation is that stage where you are groomed, is that stage where you are taught some certain things, is that stage of your life where you just came into the world, empty, you don't know anything. So at that beginning stage as a woman, if you grew up with, number one, the first thing that I want to share is tools. If you grew up, if your foundation did not give you tools that will guide you through the journey of your life, tools that will help you to overcome some certain things, some hurdles in life as a woman. And what are those tools? Like values, like principles, beliefs. Those are the tools that you need whilst growing up as a woman. You need to be taught values. And I grew up without, in fact, I practically raised myself. I taught myself values. I taught myself wrong beliefs. I was just looking at myself that, okay, the highest thing that I can just do as a woman is, just look beautiful, just have some nice character, and then the good guy a good Christian guy will just get married to you, and you just have children, and you just do some job somewhere, But that is not the right belief. That is not the right belief, but that is the belief that I grew up with. So if your foundation did not give you that tools, those right tools, the right values, the right beliefs, and the right principles as a woman, I am sorry. The identity you might be carrying at this moment, if at any certain point you did not become conscious and break up from those values and break up from those beliefs and break up from those principles that you took, those faulty ones, then I'm sorry, your identity is affected. And that is why the real you is all about. For you to get to that place where you want to identify what are the values that I've been carrying as a woman that is completely wrong. What are those beliefs that I am carrying that is completely wrong? What are those things that I am using to just tag and label myself that are completely wrong? By the time you are able to identify those things as a woman, then you can now say, okay, then we will continue the rest journey. But what is the second key thing that you need, that your foundation needed to give to you? What is the second thing? And in discovering yourself, it is important for you to go back to those places, to make reference to those places, so that you can be able to, readjust yourself. If you know that, okay, the way I see myself is not right, or my identity is not, is not in check, and the way I'm looking at myself is not right, and all those things. What is the second thing? The second key thing is a seed. Your foundation is meant to sow a seed inside of you. We all know seeds, like we sow seeds, orange seed, apple seed, all kinds of seed. Every tree that you see is standing strong, bearing fruit. Whatever fruit is sown is as a result of the seed that was sown in the ground. So when we talk about seed, what exactly are we talking about? Number one, we're talking about affirmation as a woman. Affirmation is a seed that your foundation is meant to sow inside of you. Affirmation, you needed to be affirmed. Nobody affirmed me. Nobody told me that I am enough as a woman. Nobody told me that I am beautiful. Nobody told me that I am intelligent. Nobody told me whether I'm intelligent or not. I can't remember. But nobody told me. Either way, nobody told me. And as a woman, it is so important. Affirmation is so huge for you as a woman. Because the lack of that affirmation is what builds insecurities in us. We think that, it's my this, like this. We begin to, we are not just comfortable in our skin at all. So that is the first thing, affirmation. Our foundation needed to sow that affirmation inside of us. Another thing is love. If your foundation did not give you that, did not sow that seed of love inside of you, and I am not talking about the seed, the kind of love that, and I don't blame our parents, to be very honest. I don't blame them. But, I'm not talking about that kind of love that our parents feel that because they pay our school fees, because they give us clothing, they shelter us, then they love us. That is not the kind of love I am talking about. That is not the kind of love. And I will expatiate more on that later on, just in case if I'm not able to go into that right now. But your foundation needed to give you that love. And if you didn't have that love as a woman, oh my, it's gonna lead to series and series of experiences. And it is those experiences that we use to identify ourselves. I, as a woman, I found myself in the arms of strange men, looking for my father's love. Strange men that don't even know what love is. But you know what? That is not even the problem. The problem is the fact that when that relationship ends, whatever experience you end with that relationship, that is what you take and attach it. Another label. You label yourself and say, oh, this is who I am. If Mr. Lagbaja can tell me I am ugly when we broke up, I am ugly. If so person can tell me that I am unlovable, I mean, what else? I am unlovable. These are the things we use to identify ourselves. So the fact that you even went and fall in love is not even the problem. The major problem is what it leaves inside of you. Whatever it leaves in you, for example, let me share the story. When I got pregnant, and I just concluded with myself that, okay, this experience now that I am going to become a single mother, probably that is the only thing people will know me for. She's a single mom. She went to United Kingdom to study, and then, she got pregnant and she has a child, and maybe one man just have mercy on her and got married to her, and that was it. What kind of an identity is that? That is a dysfunctional identity. That is a faulty identity. That identity is nowhere close to who you truly are. But because of that love and that affirmation that I lacked growing up, foundation did not give me. And this is what I'm saying. When your foundation did not give you these things, as you go along your journey as a woman, you keep packing up things, lies and wrong beliefs and experiences, especially the experiences. The experiences are the ones that always conditions us to a place. The experiences are always what will leaves stigma. And those stigma, those stigmas are the things that we use to say this is who I am. But that is not who we are. That is not who we are. And oh my God, I cannot begin to tell you guys the effect that lacking those two things has caused in my life. Honestly, I cannot, like, a whole live broadcast is not enough for me to be able to express to you guys all those things, that the effect of that right values, having the right principles, having that belief, even believe in yourself that I am a woman, I am enough, just that one alone. Not to talk about the affirmation and the love and that emptiness and that void inside of us. So our foundation is meant to give us these two things, and the lack of those two things opens a whole door of things that we just used to say, this is who I am. But that is not who we are. That is not who we are at all. That is not who we are. That is not. That is not. I'm telling you, that is not. So in order for you to discover yourself and know who you truly are as a woman, you need to go down to your foundation. You need to go deep into the roots and go and discover and identify, why am I this way? What are the experiences that I have used to identify myself? What classify those experiences as something that, okay, this is truly who I am meant to be? What? What is that? I could not just move forward at all. I was listening to my mentor, but I couldn't just move forward. I was so passionate. Like, he sowed this amazing seed of passion inside of me. I wanted to do so many things. I wanted to go and empower women. I wanted to do this. I want to do that. But I never knew that there were things that were just limiting me. So your foundation does not only condition you to identify yourself wrongly, but it also limits you. It limits you as a woman. It limits you. There are so many women today that they don't see themselves past a wife material. And I am going to do a video on that wife material. Trust me, I will talk about it. Because you've got to be able to see yourself past that. And so many women, there are so many single women today are still praying on the mountain and shouting and screaming just because that is just what they want to identify themselves as. But I am telling you that your identity is far more than that. It's way beyond that. But before you even know what your identity is, you've got to go to your foundation. You've got to go to your foundation. You need to. It's so important. Your foundation is so critical. Just as if a foundation is important to a building, so is your foundation in your life. So is your foundation. And let me just share this one point. Do you know that the lack of love, the lack of affirmation, that emptiness and that voidness inside a woman, according to research, is 80% reason why many women just want to marry? Can you imagine? You don't have a clue of who you are. You don't have a clue, like a whole clue. But because of that emptiness, because of that voidness, because of that, we don't have the right beliefs. We don't have the right values. We didn't grow up with them. We didn't. And that's why when people say that, don't let your past define you. Hello, I was already born into the definition. Many of us were born into faulty foundation. Many of us were born into dysfunctional foundation. Especially if you're coming from my own side of the world, from Africa, from Nigeria, where many of our, parents kind of like, especially for the men, and I really want to focus on the fathers. Why? Because for you as a woman, a father is much more important to you than a mother. I am very honest. A father is 100% important to you as a woman, more than your mother. And I have billions of arguments that I can raise to tell you that. A father is so important for you, and a father is part of that, your foundation. So if your father is nowhere close to that if you didn't have that, that solid ground, I'm sorry, sister. I'm sorry, my precious queen. We have work to do. So one of the things that I would really love you to sit down and do this week is to sit down. You remember, guys, I told you we should have a journal. Having a journal is so good. It's so good. Most of the things that I will be sharing with you guys is as a result of my journal. It's as a result of the things that I have sat down and looked at my life and find out. And I did research and I realized that this thing is common all over the place. So write down in your journal all your experiences from that beginning, from that your roots. Just take time. It's going to save you a whole world of problem. Because 90% of who you are today is as a result of your foundation. Whether it is good or it is bad, it is as a result of your foundation. We can't argue that. 90%, whatever you have turned out to be today as a woman, as a matter of fact, the difficulty and the challenges you are going through today is attached to your foundation. So your foundation is so critical. And if you really want to discover yourself, if you are really determined that I want to get rid of whatever that I feel, I want to get rid of all those things, I don't like all these things, then you've got to go to your foundation. If I had this two, even if I didn't have the two keys, but if I had just one of the key, I would have turned out to be, pretty nice, honestly. But I didn't even have any. Like I grew up clueless. I grew up not having an idea of anything. clueless. Nothing. No value. No, I didn't know. I didn't even know what to expect from men. I didn't know what, if I'm supposed to set a standard. What exactly is a standard? Like, really, what is a standard? I didn't even know the word called standard. Talk more of the definition. Talk more of setting it. Talk more of abiding by it. But these are the things that the lack of those things, they make us, we grow up with all this, faulty identity. Faulty. And many women today, in fact, during my research, like, I will just sit down and be crying. Many women today, the kind of things so many women are going through today is because of that foundation. Is as a result of that foundation. So to know the real you, go to your foundation. Go and identify what are the things that I grew up with. And if my daddy and my mommy or whoever raised me told me that I can, you know what, guys, let me tell you guys, do you know that there was a time I went to visit my father, and I had like a little argument with him, and I told him that I needed school fees and things like that, and my dad made a statement, and I will never forget that statement. He said to me, it is not like anything good will come out of that school fees. And I took it really personal. And it's true. Because I'm not using the certificate. Nothing good came out of the school fees. And it's true. In fact, I don't think I paid that school fees. But the point is that because that thing is in my head, that listen, you're not good enough. You can't do it. It conditioned me. It didn't only make me to identify myself as a dummy, but it also made me to, put a limit that I can't go far. If whatever your foundation tells you, that is what you grow up with. If your father tells you you are olodo, you cannot read, you cannot write, look at you, your mates are doing this, the only thing is you will end up in a man's house, and that is, and give birth to children. That is it. That thing, your subconscious mind will grab all those things, and they will go into your future and go and put stumbling blocks. Many of us women, we are struggling today to just make it in a small company or a small business, but we cannot. Why? Because of that beliefs and all those things. They have conditioned us. They have limited us. We cannot see ourselves past anything. And that is why so many women are not succeeding. That is why we want to hear more women. In fact, I heard recently that women are more intelligent than men. Hey, when I heard it, Jesus, I was so excited. I was so happy. So women are more intelligent than men. We will show to the world that yes, we are more intelligent. But these are the kind of things that we grow up with. So I really want you to go into this week and really think about what you grew up in. What are the kind of things that you were taught as a woman? What are the kind of things that you were told? You really go down into it. How do I see myself? And why do I see myself that way? Why do I call myself the name that I am calling myself today? Why? Question all those things. Don't leave any stone unturned. It's going to be painful, especially if you grew up in a faulty foundation. It's going to be painful, but it is necessary. The reason why I can sit down today and share my story with you guys and look at my eyes, I'm not even tearing up, like tears are not coming down from my eyes, is because I know that I needed to do this. And I have cried throughout the process. I cried throughout the process. I am not there yet. I am not perfect. But these are the things that I have found out. And I realize that these things are affecting so many of us. So many. Many of us have set goals. The only goal we have, God. We are praying and we are doing everything possible. We are enlarging our boobies, trying to make our bum big, doing our nose, our mouth, our ears, our everything, trying to imperfect our perfection. The only goal is, let me just get a man. That is the only goal most of us have. We don't have any other goal. That is the only goal. And we do everything possible that we can on this earth to make sure we attain that goal. Because I've already shared with you guys that your fulfillment and your true happiness as a woman is tied to who you truly are. It's not tied to anybody. But our foundation has pushed us. And like I said in the beginning, that I don't really blame our parents. They raised us as best as they could. Some of them, their behaviors are inexcusable. But at the end of the day, whatever they can do, that is what they were able to do. And I'm going to talk about that next week because we're already running out of time. I want to try my best and keep this broadcast 15 to 30 minutes so that those who come back to watch it again will be able to watch throughout the video. So I would like to know, what do you guys think? How do you feel? Is there anything that you would like to share with us, from your foundation? Is there anything that I might have said that have triggered any feeling, or maybe you could go back and say, oh, so this is the reason why, I think I am not worthy as a woman, or this is the reason why I think this. Is there anything that you can refer to? I'm just going to quickly go through some of our comments. Please, if there's anything that I've said that have triggered your feelings, and you can refer back to your past as a woman and say, oh, I remember this, please, can you share with us? It will be great for us, to... I'm just going to quickly read some of our comments before we round up. Okay, Mrs. Adela Disu said that's correct. Thank you so much, Queen Ufoma, for joining me. Mr. Bankole said absolutely true. Thanks for speaking out to us. Queen Anastasia, biomass, yes, but we are all coming out. Every woman is gonna come out from that biomass. You're gonna be a personality. You will know who you are. Before we are done with this series, you will know who you are. You will be so content. You will be grateful that you even decided to go on this journey. Sorry, my Queen Anastasia said your reference point. Yes, your reference point is so important. That is what we're talking about today. Your reference point is so important for you guys to, go back to that reference point and think about those things, that we grew up with as women, and those things are limiting us as women. But you know what? It's time for us to arise. It's time for us to really arise. When I started this journey and I started finding out who I am, I became so happy, so excited, and I just felt like, oh my God, every woman needs to know this. Every woman needs to know this. So guys, please help me share this video, and next week I'm unable to continue. We're going to continue the conversation next week about our foundation. Remember, we're talking about discovering yourself, knowing who you truly are as a woman. And you cannot know who you truly are as a woman if you haven't gone back to your foundation. Why is it important for you to go back to your foundation? Because by the time you search deeper, you will be able to identify some of the things that you have defined yourself with. And if you can get rid of those things that you have defined yourself with, then you can now begin that journey of saying, okay, I want to know who truly I am as a woman right now. So before we get to that, we are going to get to that, but I really want us to go down to this issue of foundation. So is there anyone that has got any question you want to ask me? And if there is any topic you would like us to discuss, you know, in relation to singleness or single women or women in general. You know, I mostly, you know, for single women. But if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, please inbox me, send me a message, and you know, we will talk about it. We will talk about it. But this is so important. This is so key. Discovering yourself is so important. And I've shared one key reason. One key reason is that it gives you fulfillment as a woman. You don't attach your fulfillment to any man. You don't attach your fulfillment or your satisfaction or your happiness to anybody, but you attach it to who you truly are. Who you truly are. So that is one reason why it is important for you to take a step back and say, is this who I am? Or is this something that, you know, people have just given to me and I am just running around with it? You know, but that is not who I am. You know, it's so important. So thank you guys so much. I can see that there is no any questions here. I want to thank you guys so much for doing live with me today. And, you know, when we come back next week, we're going to go down into the deep, some identifying some of those key foundation. I've already mentioned one is your father. You know, that is so important, because, you know, like I said, every woman's heart is shaped in the form of her father. Every woman's heart is shaped in the form of her father. And I shared with you guys two things that you need as a woman. You needed tools, you needed the right values, you needed the right beliefs, you needed the right principles to grow up with, you needed that affirmation, you needed that love, you needed that attention as a woman. And the lack of those things can bring about so many experiences that you will use to identify yourself. And one of the things that I really want us to also do this week is this. I want you to sit down and think, why do you burn your finances? So many women today, they burn money in shopping malls buying clothes. It's not because they really need those clothes, but it's because of a much more deeper issue that even some women don't know. Why do you want to go into those relationships? Why do you just feel you cannot just sit down with yourself for 1 second? These are all the questions that I really want us to, you know, sit down this week and think about, and really think about. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael. Thank you, Shola. Thank you for everyone that did live with me today. I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, ladies, authenticity is the new diva. You are precious. You are so, if you know who you truly are as a woman, trust me, every single day, you want to spend time with her. In fact, you will say, I don't want to spend time with anybody. I just want to spend time with this woman that I have now discovered, that I have now known. So thank you all so much, and have a lovely week. I love you guys so much. Bye.